Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the ESL Premiership UK stream. My name is Kai Knight, and alongside me today is the one, the only, the long-haired, magnificent...
I knew it!
You knew it, you knew it was coming. How are you doing?
I'm good, White James. It's going to be some good games. Of course, this is the qualifier for the ESL UK Premier League. We have two semi-finals tonight going on simultaneously. The one we're going to be covering is Good Looking Gamers against Perilous Rage. The winner from each semi-final not only secures their place in tonight's final, but they also secure themselves in the group stage of the UK Premiership, which will in total be the top 8 teams in the UK fighting for a prize pool of, I believe, 6,000 Great British pounds.
What's so great about them?
Well, you know, Great Britain and all. But we got two teams here. We know the names of good-looking gamers. They've been around for quite a bit. We've got Arth, Mark, Rex, Stan, and I'm not too sure who their fifth is going to be. They have quite a few players on their roster. And Perilous Rage, they're just coming off the back of a pretty impressive LAN performance, it has to be said.
Yeah, obviously that was Epic LAN. Do you remember where they finished off the top of your head?
They came third.
Third, right. Not bad.
They were playing till 2 AM on the Saturday morning, or Sunday morning, Saturday night, Sunday morning, and took TLR to a 3. They won 2-1, sitting next to each other as well, so the banter was indeed real. And then they lost to Obscene Esports, who of course won the tournament in the lower bracket final 2-1. So they came third overall, which, to be fair, is a lot better than people expected them. They also took a map off Infused in the group stage.
That's not too shabby, particularly when you consider how strong both Scene and Infused are, obviously. But good-looking gamers, again, like you said, we can't count them out because they do have players like Mark, obviously fearless once upon a time, in particular back in Source when GLG used to play under the old Tid Play tag, were, again, arguably one of the strongest UK CS teams around. So it's nice to see them back in CSGO, but... it's probably safe to say that so far they still haven't reached the same heights they once did back in Source. But let's see how they're going to do today. They haven't vetoed yet, so we don't know whether we're starting on Overpass. But Hoss, what maps would you like to see?
We saw Perilous Rage. I'm trying to remember, they had a pretty strong Dust 2 on LAN, if I recall correctly. So it's one of the maps we might like to see from them. Also, we learned a lot about just UK teams in general and their maps. We saw a lot of Cash over the weekend, quite a bit of Mirage, a ton of Dust 2, not too much Inferno, Cobble, or Overpass though. So most likely veering towards the Cash and the Dust 2. I reckon they're going to be a consistent 2 throughout, and then the third map's a bit of a wild card.
Well, I mean, obviously we were both at Epic LAN this weekend, and I was just chillaxing with John and Jack, the admins, at the end of the tournament after Obscene had won. And Jacob, interestingly enough, was actually, I believe it was Jacob from Raster XD, he was having a word with the admins and telling them why are maps like Cobblestone within the map pool for a community LAN like this. And let's be honest, a mass majority of the teams were mixed teams. And the thing is, a map like Cobblestone isn't really suited to, you know, a community LAN like Epic LAN. Epic LAN can't be compared to a major, or the quality of teams can't be compared to those who are going into the tournament drilled and having practiced all their maps seriously. And that's probably why we didn't really see much Cobblestone or Overpass, because first of all, they're not really mixed suited maps as opposed to maps like DDoS 2, and of course the teams just hadn't practiced them really. So I suggested to John that we should have probably have swapped Cobblestone out for Season, because Season obviously is a map that used to be played a lot in the UK scene back in Source. Been around a while. Exactly. So I was surprised they didn't go for it, but what do you think? Do you think they should take that on board for the next few LAN events?
If there's the demand there, I don't see really why not, especially if it is an independent thing like Epic LAN was. But for these tournaments here, ESL sponsored, ESL partnered, I think the standard 7 map pool that we see in competitive, we see at the majors, is fair enough, because that makes essentially sense. This UK Premiership is the gateway for teams. It's a gateway for them to start making their mark. Once they conquer UK, they can then try and conquer Europe.
I guess it's very similar to how teams like the current Gamers 2 lineup, or the XESC lineup, sort of came around, where the main team dominating in Poland, particularly in CSGO, for a long period of time was, of course, Virtus Pro. And then through EPS Poland, which I fortunately had the liberty to cast a few times, and I believe you've had...
Yep, I did a few games in there.
Awesome, you've done a few games there as well. That's sort of how skilled Polish players were discovered, and how decent lineups like that were really given a chance to flex their muscles in front of organisations, and that's really how they got picked up eventually by ESC. So, I don't know, fingers crossed the same's going to apply to this UK EPS, because there is a lot of individual talent in the UK. We just really need to see teams stick it together, I guess.
Yeah, definitely so, and that's been one of the problems throughout the entire UK scene, and I'm just interested to see how Infused are gonna, if they're actually gonna stick with the 5 they had after a disappointing final. I know Hudge G wasn't too happy, nor was Henry G with their result at the weekend, but whether they're just going to stick as a 5 and try and work it out, or
Henry spoke to me, yeah.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
Because that's always been a problem.
Yeah, Henry had a word with me. I told him, look, mate, if you guys are going to stick together, I don't want to have to call your team Confused rather than Team Infused again. And, you know, to be fair to him, he put his arms up and he said, look, Kaya, we just weren't anywhere near good enough. He said that their caller bricked at one point, their caller obviously being Red Snake, and I think it's safe to say that that was definitely noticeable when watching the game. And, you know, I mean, I made a post on RCSGO betting where people were asking for my opinion, and I said, going into it, Infused are 1-0 up, but I can definitely see, what were they called? Oblivious Gaming? I forgot their name. Obscene, that's it. Oblivious. I said that I could definitely see.
That's what you were. Hey,
no, Banks was call it. Oh, okay, yeah, I see what you did there. Oh, but anyways, I said if Obscene managed to take the first map and tie things up at 1-1, then I can definitely see the Infused players, not just their heads dropping, knowing that they could potentially lose to a mix due to the pressure and, you know, how embarrassing it would be. So yeah, I basically forgot the point I was trying to make. But the point I was trying to make was that, yeah, they let it get to their heads too much, and I think they just felt the pressure a little bit too much. Because you've got Henry G and Hoods G, who are two very experienced players, but ultimately you've also got players like Red Snake and Chak.
Yeah, Chak's been around a long time.
He's been around a long time, but he's not really played at this, you know, semi-decent or high level until CSGO, until very recently. Because back in Source, he was mainly known to be a movie maker. So, yeah, definitely a lack of experience in that Infused lineup, which probably led to their downfall. And the thing is, you compare that to the Obscene lineup with players like Jacob Weber and so forth, who have been in plenty of LAN finals before. So, yeah, it definitely worked in their favour.
Yeah, definitely so. But right now, someone that actually impressed me a lot at LAN was Chance on Perilous Rage. He had extremely good aim when I was standing behind him watching the TLR game in the early hours of the morning. He was the one that stood out for me on this Perilous Rage side, so I'm looking to see how he performs tonight, whether he's still got that. I know he goes for something like 1,000 frags a day on deathmatch. It's a routine for him.
Who's that?
Chance.
Oh, Chance.
Yes.
Yeah, Chance said he'd come and say hi to me at Epicland, but he wasn't man enough to come and face the Kyanite in the flesh. So I'm gonna have to have a word with him.
So yeah, we're still waiting for Ash, I believe it is, or Perilous Rage, while teams just decide to team kill themselves.
Yeah, we'll most likely see Ash playing mid, you know, with that AWP here on Overpass.
We don't even know the maps yet.
Oh, come on, man! You're a LOL person. I was trying to give a LOL reference. You know, Ash, LOL, and how she has that
carry and they play bot lane. Come on, Kyanite.
Come on. No, that's wrong though, because when you first download League of Legends and play that tutorial where you start with Ash, they make you play mid.
That, I think.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. Because it made players like you just do the completely wrong thing.
Okay. Well, mate, look, I am a top Master Yi player. You know, he's the only champion I know how to play, but, you know, me and Master Yi, we go better than bread and butter together, honestly.
Nice. But, yeah, I'm interested as to see what UK teams come out of the woodwork for these events, because we saw, I think, 80 teams signed up for yesterday's initial few rounds.
Yep.
But the cup was capped to 64, so for the next two qualifiers, we're going to see a 128 team bracket. And we didn't even see in...
How about we enter a team?
What?
How about we enter a team? Yeah.
I don't think we can play and cast at the same time. I mean, we could do, if Pete lets us. Me, you,
You make
Banks,
it sound like it's really hard.
Me, you, Banks, Metis,
Easy,
and
mate.
Spud. The casters. Sounds
Yeah,
good,
well,
right?
well, it does, yeah. Kaya carry incoming. Get Jakey stuck in the chat as well. And yeah, Jakey's asking, I'm curious, what's
my
Hoss's prediction for the game? Kaya Kappa. So go on, Hoss. What's your prediction for the game?
I think we will probably see 3 maps here.
Okay.
So it's definitely going to be 2-1. But I'm not sure to who.
Yeah, 3 maps in the BO3.
Yeah. Yeah,
it is going to be 2-1 to one of the sides.
It's going to go 3-0. They're going to play the extra map, just waste time.
Not to waste time, for practice,
Rage
experience.
But a very close 2-1. I'm talking something like 75 rounds across the board.
Fair enough. Personally, I think this good-looking gamers lineup is a lot less drilled than the Perilous Rage lineup. Obviously, they're not really a team. This GLG lineup, they're starting to play a bit more together, but their playstyle is still very aggressive, very much like a mixed style. So I think it could depend on the map pool, because individually you compare these players together. Against each other, and they're all pretty evenly matched. So I think it could come down to the style of maps. If we end up on a map like Overpass, where Perilous Rage start on the CT side and end up with 11 or 12 halves, 11 or 12 halves being interesting. 11 or 12 halves. I said it again, 11, see, it's been a long day at work. 11 or 12 rounds at the half, then I think, it's going to be very, very tough for a team like Good Looking Gamers to redeem themselves. But see them on a slightly more mix-orientated map, a slightly more simple map like DDoS 2 or Cash. I think we'd definitely see the Good Looking Gamers maybe even potentially win 1 or 2 of those style of maps, particularly if their AWPer can shut down Quiver, who is obviously the main Perilous Rage author, or at least was the last time I watched Perilous Rage play. So if they can shut him down, he is a very important part of the way they play. So let's wait and see what maps they choose. I think it's a bit early to call it, as far as I'm concerned.
So basically, you just dodged the question. Nice.
Yeah, in a very complicated fashion, whilst mixing up rounds and halves. Hopefully, once they do go live, I will get my head in the game. Otherwise, you've got a lovely head of hair, has it, according to our global offensive. So,
well, I mean,
all that hair on your head will redeem the lack of
long-haired DDK.
Yeah.
To be fair, it's better than homeless DDK. I'll take long-haired DDK any day.
The thing is, when I was actually at the studios, apparently most people in the chat were calling me Glasses DDK, but that guy on Reddit obviously changed me to White James, which is cool as well. So, yeah. I am
why
White
not Arab
James.
DDK?
Yeah, why not? That's like, that has a ring to it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Arab DDK.
So, yeah. Out of all the teams in the UK scene, which do you want to see at the finals at MCM in May, trying to win their share of $6 grand?
Team Confused.
Wait, is that the team we're making to play these qualifiers?
No, Team Confused is when Pete and Gaz play matchmaking together. That's Team Confused. Anyone who doesn't know who Pete and Gaz are, Gaz is our main producer and Pete is the main man behind ESL UK. He's the community manager. So big shout out to them. But no, I really would like to see Team Infused, honestly, on the stage at MCM. And they'll most likely, in my opinion, actually end up against FM Toxic, who at the moment obviously contains two of this weekend's obscene players, namely Weber and Cryptics.
Yeah, Weber, Cryptics, Windansky,
Neilzinho, and at the moment they're sort of toying between Socken,
Socken?
who's from Denmark, and Mike S from the Netherlands. And in a weird way, they're two slightly different players because Mike S, as the S at the end of his name suggests, he's a very, very solid sniper, while Socken is a more versatile player. So obviously it might come down to a tactical decision like that. So we're going to have to wait and see. But TLDR, I think that the final on the stage at MCM is going to be Team Infused and this new FM Toxic lineup, providing that they still exist come MCM.
Well, there's actually an interesting rule. Well, there's actually a lot of interesting rules. So kudos to Pete for putting this one together. One of them being that for every penalty point your team gets, you lose a percentage of the prize pool. There's another one in there about rosters being locked, forcing you to stay as a team. Because May's like... In fact, I believe it's exactly 4 months away yesterday. No, 4 months last Sunday. So we're essentially 4 months away from the finals. So having to have 5 UK players stick together for 4 months, it's a big ask. But it's that step towards it's that step towards professionalism and going to that next level and challenging for those majors, those Genity Cups, the ESL, the Katowice offline qualifiers. I guess I'd assume there'd be some of those for Cologne, and yeah, just about bridging that gap.
Yeah, it is about time that we see, a proper UK team head over to a major event. And the question I keep asking myself is, if FM Toxic, the team with Weber, Cryptix, Neilzinho, Windansky, and I can't remember who their fifth was for the Katowice last chance qualifiers, if they had beat her in that final and actually been sent to Poland to play the offline qualifiers, I mean, I keep asking myself the question of whether they would have been able to win.
I don't think so.
I think they may have done. If they had actually qualified, they had like a week or 2 weeks to, really get their heads in the game.
Drill it.
That's the thing. I feel like the thing that sort of makes me think that they may have been able to do it had they have beaten Puta is the fact that Weber and Neilzinho have played together in FM Toxic on so many occasions where they almost know each other inside out, and the same goes for Windansky as well. And if they end up bringing a player like Socken or Mike S in, who again, those two players have even flown over to the UK and played at offline events with them, I feel like the lineup are already very, very familiar with each other. The only real new blood is Cryptix, who's an incredible aimer. So, I don't know, maybe I'm living in my own sort of UK dreamland kind of thing, seriously thinking that they would have been able to pull it off. But hey, if teams like Vogt and CLG, managed to
well, I guess they have
creep
a really
through,
tough
then I don't see why FM may not have been able to. They did, but
because they would have essentially had to have taken out Flipside, or Titan, or CLG, or LGD.
Easy for UK teams.
Flipside are an interesting one though, and it actually looks like we've got Dust 2 as our first map. I think, so we can stop rambling.
It's a knife round.
Yeah, it's the knife round, so I'd assume this is knife for side rather than knife for veto. I shall ask admins.
There we are. So Didas 2, pretty much a 50-50 sided map. Obviously back in Source of 1.6, slightly more T-sided now that they've shut off a few of the skyboxes and taken into account the fact that Molotovs are now in the game, and taking into fact the count, the count. I really can't speak. Instead of saying taking into account the fact, I said taking into the fact the count. Hoss, you speak. I am not.
You can't Englando.
I cannot Englando today. I am too tired, man. I've been casting all weekend. I casted yesterday, and I'm trying to cast today.
This is like essentially
but
what should
you're
be
younger
the 5th
than me.
day in a row.
I'm an old man. Oh.
How old are you? 20, 21?
20.
Yeah, I'm 20 as well. Get out of here, you.
Yeah, what month? What month? Who's
February.
older, me or you?
You.
Oh, God, you're older than me.
No.
I'm November.
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
So
yeah.
I just turned 20, you're turning 21.
Oh, right, I see. So, yeah, see, I am an old man. I'm too old. I'm too old for games, dude. I'm too old to do this
Okay, so then knife
casting
into
live.
veto. It is either Cash Mirage Inferno or Cash Inferno Mirage. Either way, first map is Cash. So I expected the Cash, I expected the Mirage, and Inferno's in there as well. So maybe the Decider, or it may be a second map. But we're starting on DE Cash. Thoughts on this one?
Well, I said earlier on that I feel like these more mix-orientated maps, or maps that rather suit less team play and more fluid game style, would suit a team like GLG a lot more than they'd suit Perilous Rage. So D-Dust 2 and Cash, in my opinion, is pretty perfect for a team like GLG in their very aggressive play style. The question at hand, though, is how well have Perilous Rage practiced their other maps? You know, because most teams, and I know that this Perilous Rage lineup hasn't really been together for too long, so the question at hand is, how much have they practiced together? When these teams first come together, they first start out by playing matchmaking together. Then they start mixing together. Then they start playing Face-It games together. Then they enter a team onto ESEA. So if you ask me, I think that Perilous Rage have probably gone with these two maps. Obviously, it's part of the veto and will feel comfortable with these two maps. Yeah. But they've got to be careful because they are up against a more fluid team, a team who are going to be playing more of a mixed brand of Counter-Strike, and they need to, because we saw it in fact on Cash at the weekend between Team Infused and Weber's team, where even though they play Weber's team, I can't even remember what they're called, where they'd played on Cash a day earlier, but the first thing Weber's team did to come firing straight out of the blocks is basically they pushed as CT'd 4 players through the B bomb site straight out, and ended up basically taking out 3 Infused players right off the trot. Literally, they gave Infused no breathing space. And random things like that, if a team did that at Katowice, get destroyed, for example, up against the top teams. But at this level of Counter-Strike, you can really utilise the element of surprise really, really well when you're up against a team and you're a mix. So it wouldn't surprise me if you saw GLG try and, you know, do something along those lines. And I think these two maps would suit them. It would allow them to do that kind of thing a lot better than a map like Inferno would.
Yep, definitely agree with you on that one. And I think, are we knifing? Or are we? Yeah, looks like we're knifing mid. Sides now. So Perilous, obviously, if they win this, they're going to switch. Good-looking gamers will probably stay on the CT side. I always keep seeing like the GLG and want to call them CLG.
Yeah.
I apologise now if I ever call that one. Perilous take the knife round. Gonna probably swap out now.
You see in the chat where Peter said he's just a lowly DMG/LE.
Yeah.
I actually thought that said, I'm just a lowly Deagle. I thought to myself, why is Pete calling himself a Deagle? I mean, I know he comes from COD and they used to have a golden Deagle and all that, but... But anyways, here we go, guys. Welcome to ESL UK. We've got good-looking gamers up against Perilous Rage. It's one of those days, Hoss. It's one of those days.
And straight away, Perilous Rage, they're going for the good old fakey fake here. In fact, no, sorry. Good looking game's going for the fakey fake. They've gone all the way to this B bomb site, forced the rotation out. This is a very nice pistol round strat from these guys. They've been able to get 2 frags on this B bomb site as well. But if we look over towards A, we see it is completely empty. 3 versus 3, only 1 player left on this B bomb site for good looking gamers. He's most likely going to just lurk here. Try and catch him on the rotation. And this is...
try and slow the CTs down.
This is an extremely good opening strat coming out of the T side.
Yeah, you called it. You said it was going to be a fake, and off all by himself, holding off the CTs. The thing is, the CTs know that a bomb's been planted on A, but they can't rotate to the A bomb site because they know where Arf was lurking. So here we go. An interesting boost coming in. Joseph with the frag onto Mark. But Arf will make it 4. So a superb pistol round from Arf. The one-man tank winning it for good-looking gamers. And Hoss.
Yep.
Exactly what I predicted just happened. You know, good-looking gamers did something out of the ordinary, something that a drill team wouldn't expect. And the CTs, they rotated all their men over from the A-bomb site, and it was just a simple plant for GLG. So now, as a reward, as a result of what happened in the last round, they now have 4 Galils and a scout, but they've got to be careful not to lose his Galils now.
They do indeed. And this is always one of the problems with this second round buy. Pistols being so strong, pistol armor or the scout buy from the team that lost the first round is starting to become a lot more prominent. So the chances of losing those Galils are a lot higher. You see a lot of teams now try and go for maybe 1 or 2 UMPs in their buy, or at least some of the lower weapons, the less expensive ones, they can just rebuy if needed. As good looking gamers do open things up here in mid. Smoke out connector there, see what they can do. Perilous Rage, they started off by playing 3 towards B. GLG slowly walking their way onto A. It is empty for the second round in a row here. Flashes and smokes go out. They've made their way across. Just swap the site here, get the bomb down, and then it's all on them to try and defend this one. Which, up against the weapons that are only pistols, they should have a very easy time doing so.
Yeah, I think the CTs are just going to try and get exit frags here. I mean, they invested in a scout, and that scout went down really early. We saw Chance rotate through CT spawn because he wanted to pick it up, because it is, of course, an expensive weapon. Joseph is going to get caught out. He spent over exactly $1,000 on armor helmet, and he managed to lose them. So, Perilous Rage, they really need to try and save what they can. $5,000 between the three of them, and it was a shame that Joseph got taken out, but right decision in the end there, Hoss, for them to save the armor on the 2 players.
5k on them, it means they don't have to rebuy that in the next round. They probably won't buy here anyway, or anything. Just to ensure they can get their 3rd round buy on the board. They dropped the scout over to Ash. Doesn't really have a spawn for anything, so just giving it to the competent player here. And we're seeing absolutely nothing but just taking through what they have from the previous round. How do they want to play this one? Seems like they're going for a 3A setup, 1B, and 1 towards mid.
Rumour has it that Ash, with that scout on the B bomb site, wants to be the very best that no one ever was, and he's going to target Greg. So, well played from him. He's also tagged himself on 44 HP. The good-looking gamers, they are going to pick the bomb up. Already pushed out of mid. They've taken mid-roll. Mark sprays and prays. Gets the opening frag onto Joseph. Oh, double from Mark. Peaks has been spotted. Shig, however, will flanked from behind. He's looking for him. Can't find him. There's the frag through the smoke. And with how things stand right now, it should be the key word here, be a good-looking game around.
Yep, Chance though, he's found himself a Galil. He does have the armor that he carried through from last round, so he's got quite a bit on his back right now. They're going to go for a 2-pronged attack. Ash full, so it's just Chance left. He's not able. In fact, he's able to get 1 frag, but that's all he's going to get entering this A site. As GLG go 3 rounds to the good. This is where the challenge begins. Quiver picking up this AWP straight away. The rest of them going for M4s. Good looking gamers though, they're still a little bit behind, still clutching on to 2 Galils on their side, a little bit weaker than the AKs of their comrades. Be interesting to see whether how they set up with these 2 Galils, whether they accompany them with an AK. Looks like they're going for a boost to start things off here.
Yeah, the good looking gamers, of course, one of the main reasons why money's a little bit tight at the moment is because they actually lost a lot of men when they were on their anti-eco rounds, and it looks like one of them, yeah, there is, Marky ran straight into the crosshair of Ash, and currently it's advantage to Perilous Rage, and Host, they've really got to bring things back here to 3-1, because you know, they don't want to let good-looking gamers build a comfortable lead, and 4-0, forcing Perilous Rage into an eco, which will most likely turn into 5-0. That's not comfortable for Perilous Rage. And again, you said we saw what they're capable of at the weekend. I'm sure they'll have played a lot of cash. So let's see whether they can prevent what looks to be a B take.
Yeah, the smokes, flashes, and HEs go in here. Joe is sitting at the back of the site. Not for much longer, gets taken down by the headshot of Shig. Ash does return 1 from CT. BLG though, they're going to get the bomb down here. At the man disadvantage. Time is on their side. 35 seconds now is all they need to defend. Have 2 players on this site with 1 lurking. Quiver gets the frag onto Shig. Going to come out of vents. They trade 1 for 1 there. So it's just all down to Reckon. He's the man who isn't on the site. Perilous Rage should be going straight for this defuse once they realise there's no one here. Ash going to be holding the correct angle here. He hears the man running. Gets the frag. The defuse will come in. He's going to get a second AWP for his team as well. That's exactly the round that Perilous Rage needed. Getting one back here. GLG should still be able to buy for one more. Yep, their money's looking good on everyone but Mark, but Stan can drop.
Yeah, so terrorists forcing it up. Understandable why, but it seems like we've only got 5 AKs. That's it. Yeah. I thought to myself it looked a bit strange that they only had 3. But they've just about managed to salvage AKs for all 5 of them. But should they lose this one, they will be forced back onto an eco, and we most likely will see Perilous Rage even things up at 3-on-3. Mark peeking mid. It's not the first time we've seen him do that, and I'm sure it's not going to be the last time we see him execute into mid like that. He got a few frags towards short early on as the good-looking gamers slowly but surely creep their way towards this A bomb site. They know that mid has been opened up. If they can split and pick here, that's another brilliant frag from Stan. They've got to be careful. Peaks is peeking. Double from Peaks, looking for 3. Will get it. And now Rek and Mark literally find themselves, well, in a much tougher situation than they were in a few minutes ago.
Yeah, really solid one-man hold there from Peaks. Did all he could. He got a 3-piece. Now it's his job. Well, no, it's Joe's and Quiver's job to try and defend this 2-on-2. I don't think the economy is too great for them. No, the CT's struggling a bit for cash. The loser of this round will have to eco. Quiet, Perilous Rage, they're playing this one as safe and as smart as possible. They get the frag onto Mark, meaning it's just Rek left. He sprays the frag onto Quiver. Joe gets the kill. Should have time to defuse this. It's ticking away. It's going to be tight. Yeah, he has that. And this forces GLG onto this eco round now. And Perilous Rage looking to even things up.
Rek is going to be really, really disappointed with himself there. Yep. Because he honestly could have prevented dying in that kind of situation. But as I said, if the good-looking gamers had lost the previous round, which they did, they have been forced now onto an eco. Only Shig opting to buy up armor, whilst 4 of them have opted to go for the good old Rek 9, and Arf in the meantime going for a P250. So here we go. Vents has been opened. Great nade from one of the CTs. He has dropped Rek down to only 12 points of health, but regardless, he can still do a heck of a load of damage. Headshot comes down onto Ash. Stan says, anything you can do, Ash, I can do better. He will pick up that M4, or that FAMAS rather, as well. And the A bomb site here, Haas, is in almost complete control for the good-looking gamers.
Yeah, GLG have been able to get straight onto this A bomb site most of the time with relative ease. It's just been the defense which is a little bit of their problem here. And 3 versus 3, where all 3 players are relative, well, both teams are more or less even on the health front here. Chance getting ready to go in here as the rest of his team go in. They get the frag onto Mark with the fire. Stan gonna peek at the right time, but this fire is burning him. He will fall. Quiver again, gonna get the defuse, but it was a very close one here for Perilous Rage yet again. Even if GLG run a bit of a weaker buy, Rage really need to sort out their A just general hold, because GLG, they've been able to get the bomb down on there so many times already.
As well, one significant thing was Chance really deserves a pat on the back, because he was in A main and he knew that the terrorists had planted on the A bomb site, and he knew that more were coming in from short, but he didn't show himself. He waited for the rest of his teammates to rotate to CT, spawn to truck and to short before showing himself, to make sure that the terrorists were surrounded and that they couldn't have had themselves covered from all angles. But wow, entry frag from Mr. Tom Quiver. He's you know how good of an AWPer he is. He obviously, in my opinion at least, has the potential to become one of the UK's best AWPers, but well, to be fully honest with you, Hoss, now that Fearless has hung up his mouse and keyboard, there definitely still is room for someone out there in the UK scene to prove that they believe they can take his place as the best AWPer in the UK. So let's see. It's going to be an interesting few months as well with this EPS thing going on, to see what Quiver can do and whether he can prove to us that he is better than Spuds, who in my opinion probably is the best UK AWPer at the moment. I've taken into consideration that Fearless has obviously quit.
Yeah. It's a sad thing to see Fearless quit, but of course just wants to concentrate on real life stuff rather than devote more time to games. As again, Ash, nice hold from him. 2 frags onto GLG, and again, this B bomb site's relatively open. It's just they pushed it a little bit too far here. Peaks now gets the frag onto Chick. They have control of the bomb rage. That nade from Arth is actually going to do quite a bit to Ash, but even for him, I think the 1v4 is a little bit too much. Chance ready on waiting. Oh, that's a good shot from Arth though, but as I said, it's going to be hard for him to get all four. As Rage now, 4th round in a row for them, and this round loss bonus means that the GLG aren't going to be ecoing anytime soon. They can just keep on buying up.
Yeah, one thing worth noticing is that both Rek and Shig haven't really had the opportunity to utilise the big green gun that they love to utilise, and Peaks in this certain scenario, he's just going to stick with his FAMAS because he knows that their opponents are going to be low on cash, and they're not really expecting them to be playing with an AWP. But here we go. Very, very aggressive here from the CTs at mid. They're actually going to boost Chance over mid. Look at this. He's creeped all the way behind the terrorist. Chance, is he going to take it? Chance, 2, 3 from Chance. Great play there from the Perilous Rage player. Going rage mode from behind. And Stan on only 4 points of health now, Hoss. He's got a big job on his hands.
This was an issue we actually saw the entire weekend at Epic Land from most UK teams. On cash, there would be no one checking behind them for the potential of the counter boost. They would just sit in main like they did there and just get mowed down, not looking back. It was a problem with Obscene, it was a problem with Infused, and it was a problem for the good-looking gamers here. Now all on Stan's shoulders, 4 HP left on him. Makes his presence known, but we can see on the map if Perilous Rage players have more or less made a triangle around him. Going to be Quiver to end him there. Perilous Rage, someone said in chat that they played against them yesterday in this cup. They had a bit of a shaky start, but once they got their momentum going, they were unstoppable, and it's looking like what we're seeing here from them.
I think the good-looking gamers are going to be really, really disappointed that they had so many of them in main, all focused on the same spot for some strange reason. That they actually end up neglecting mid and no one was watching behind them. All it took was one person to have actually been watching mid or watching behind, or, you know, preventing that boost from the CTs. Because realistically speaking, Hoss, that boost should never come in from the CTs. However, one thing that the CT should never allow as well is a Tech 9 B take, but that's much easier said than done. Joseph has done well. He's buying time for himself. Ash is going to take the gamble. Ash with 2 up against the Tech 9s here. Gets shot in the head by Arth's P250. But the good news here for Perilous Rage, Hoss, is that the bomb still hasn't gone down at least.
Yeah, again though, GLG, they're able to get onto these sites. Just the hold where Perilous Rage is so good at retaking these, getting those picks. This is what I was on about. They get the bomb down. Trade 1 for 1. Mark picks up the AK. He's trying to spray down. He saw them go towards CT. Going to be ready and waiting on this one. Going to go round. Mark would have heard it. Not able to find the frag. As Quiver is defusing on site. Oh, he takes his finger off for a second. Goes back. Still has the defuse. And now 6-3. Rage. Once they've got this going, they are looking very, very strong. GLG, they now have the cash to work with, though. They can get the AWP if they want it here. It looks like they are indeed, and that is on Stan. They also have a full set of grenades, where Perilous Rage are lacking a little bit on Joe. Apart from that, this is going to be where GLG look to turn things around a little bit here. They have the tools to utilise. And they pull through with the round win.
Well, let's see whether they can. Rek, again, I think GLG have learnt their lesson, Hoss. They've got Rek watching the B side of the bomb site, and they've got someone who's just stood outside of main, making sure no one pushes Squeaky, making sure none of these CTs push main, of course. Make sure no one can flank them from behind. Mark just all eyes at mid, maybe to try and headshot Quiver should he peek mid, but we, of course, know that at the moment he's nowhere near mid. He's peeking into A main, and they'll have definitely heard this AWP shot coming from Stan at mid. Quiver's actually going to peek him, but Stan moves away at the right moment, and look at this boost coming in.
Yeah, exactly. A bit of a strange one here, but it's...
Trying to watch the A bomb site, trying to catch someone hitting an MBK.
Yeah, as now Peaks gets the first frag. Quiver with another one, the aggression working out for him. Missing that shot though, able to get it with his 5-7. Misses the quick scope. There's a player above him and in front of him. He can't keep his eyes on both. Gets taken down after his 2 frags. And again, GLG getting the bomb down isn't the problem. This isn't where they've had the trouble. It's with the defense. They know exactly where Chance is, and that smoke is going to help him a lot. Volley going to go in towards Stan, forced him back. Very nice pick there from Chance. Go coming in as well. This just seems to be the same story every single round. GLG, they get the entries, they get the bomb down, they just can't seem to hold it. And 3 rounds on T side just isn't going to be enough for them. They need to get at least 2 more here, I feel.
One of the significant things with regards to the Perilous Rage retake so far is that a lot of CTs, they buy up a heck of a load of grenades, and once they lose a bomb site and they want to try and retake a bomb site, they find that they're already out of grenades. Whilst it's not the first time we see Perilous Rage utilize a Molotov to try and cancel out a spot where a potential terrorist may be hiding. Well, talking about hiding, Chance has got hiding to do here. He will get 2. I'll go back to what I was talking about. 3 from Chance, justicing out on the 4th, but great lay from him. And the good-looking gamers now. Rek is bleeding internally. He's being pushed from behind. And I'll tell you what, Hoss, if they manage to get the bomb down here, I think this is just going to be a good bonus for them.
Yeah. It's GLG, of course they're going to get the bomb down here. But they will most likely lose the round. Rek being forced away now. 17 HP on him. Mark on 53. Both at the back of the site. These incendiary grenades and frags have just come in, raining in. Mark will fall, as will Rek. Perilous Rage going to get yet another defuse here. But as you said, getting the bomb down is just enough for GLG at this point. Combine that with their round loss bonus. And they're just... money's just going to keep rolling in for them.
But yeah, going back to what I was saying, the Molotovs are really, really good at utilizing on a CT retake. For example, when you're pushing the A bomb site, one of the worst possible places where a terrorist could be hiding would be at MBK or at Quad. So as soon as you chuck a Molotov there, you're technically cleaning out that area just by utilizing that Molotov. And when the bomb's ticking, you don't have much time to physically check yourself. The Molotov, obviously, for obvious reasons, again, it allows you to clear up that area whilst focusing on somewhere else. And that's been the difference, really, on these Perilous Rage retakes. They've gone into the retakes with plenty of grenades, and let's see whether they're going to be able to retake this B bomb site, but they won't have to. If Quiver puts an end to them, he's already dropped 1. Ash, they're not going to expect him here because they've already dropped 2 B players. Ash with the double trades that M4 for an AK. And look at this, he's not going to peek. He's waiting for his teammates to rotate round. Knows exactly where Mark is now. And you'd really expect them to be able to shut him down. But Mark has other ideas. He's got him 3 already. Searching for the 4th, putting out that flash. And Mark, 4 kills. Phenomenal play from him. Just as when I was praising Ash, when it looked like he was going to be the hero for that round with the double, Mark pops out of nowhere, great AK frags, and the Tech-9 rescues the day for the good-looking gamers. And I'll tell you what, those were some good-looking frags.
The two flashbangs at the end there, forcing Chance. He threw one, which Chance saw, and knew he'd turn away from it. The second one was a very short one, and it bursted straight as Chance turned back. Tech-9 doing its job as well. As now Stan knows that Chance goes aggressive every now and then, picks that one up with ease. GLG looking to get even more rounds on the board here. They've got the start here. 5 on 4. A is the weaker site, it's the one. Good looking gamers have been to Shig, making it even easier now as Peaks falls. Ash is the lone man defending this one. Very nice pick from him, getting the headshot into main. Rek playing passive, he knows there's a rotation coming in. And it's now all on Ash's shoulders. He smokes off here with only an M4 in hand. Might spot the legs here of Arth. Does indeed. Not able to spray for it. Gets Mark. Missing that shot. Gets the headshot the second time round. And could this be the momentum that GLG need going into the last rounds of this half?
Well, they've got 5 already, and realistically, probably safe to say that Cache is one of those maps where it's not really unusual to see the terrorists accumulate 7 or 6. I'd say most of the time you expect Cache halves to finish 8-7 or 9-6 in favour of one of the 2 sides. It is a very, very even map, and so far we've had a very, very even game. The good-looking gamers slowly but surely crawling back into it. And of course, Hoss, despite the amount of rounds that Perilous Rage have won in a row, they are on the more expensive CT side, and they've been forced obviously down to an eco. So we've seen, I mean, CSGO, I think we see even more eco rounds, and 1 than we used to see back in Saucer 1.6. So really, you just can never rule out a team on the eco on the CT side, particularly when you take into account the amount of corners they can hold.
Yeah, exactly right. So we're actually going to see a 2-for-2 trade here on this A bomb site. Perilous Rage, they know the economy for good-looking gamers isn't the best. Just getting these frags on the eco is fair enough, but Ash, he's going to do more than that. He's now in a 1 versus 1 with bomb control, with an AWP, holding this angle. His crosshair is on him, but Ash is quicker on the trigger, and that is the eco that you were waiting for. Ash with 4 frags. You were saying about how strong it is. Never be counted out. There you go, he proves it for you.
Well, that's the thing. From close range, the P250 is a one-shot headshot. The 5.7, obviously, the same. And obviously you have weapons like the CZ75 and the Deagle, where even if you have armor, even if you have a helmet, even if you have an AK-47, if you get killed first, like Ash did, they will pick up that AK-47 and they will punish you. And a player of Ash's quality definitely proved how effective eco rounds really can be in CSGO. And it looks like Perilous Rage are somewhat on the verge of getting their 10th round of the half. I almost called you Chewy there, Hoss. And that'll probably be... Yeah, well, I'm sorry. That would be pretty comfortable for them going into the second half.
Yeah, it really should be. Getting these double figures is going to be great for them. With it, look, just get a quick frag. There it is to end the half. 10-5 now. Favour of Perilous Rage. Good half all round for them. There's a little bit to be desired for good-looking gamers' defense, and this is where defense is key for them on this CT side. If they let Perilous Rage get into these sites, get onto these bomb sites, it could be disastrous for the now CT side.
So yeah, if Perilous Rage win this pistol round, you'd expect them to capitalise, providing everything else goes according to plan. And obviously it would leave the good-looking gamers on only 5 rounds, and it would put Perilous Rage on 13. And if you ask me, I think that'll just be too close for comfort for the good-looking gamers. But wow, Quiver with 2, and Rek knows that they are going to stampede towards him. He knows he's got a heck of a load of work to do. Ash comes in on the flank. Great ace split coming in from Perilous Rage. And really there, Hoss, individually, Quiver was just 2 levels above his opponents. No way should the CTs have gone down like that. Yeah. But they did.
And something interesting there as well, good-looking gamers, none of them bought armor. They all went for a plethora of grenades. And they just didn't get the chance to use them because they got taken down so quickly.
It's risky business up against the Glock, and when you consider not only how strong it is, but how fast its fire rate is in comparison to, for example, the USP.
Yeah, definitely so. It's a little bit a strange one for the CT side. They aren't even going for the pistol armor here. They're just going straight up pistols. Some of them don't even have the money. That's Ash. Very nice flick from him to Vents, but took a lot of damage doing so. Stan on 7 HP. Looks at that AK thinking, that's mine. I want to go pick that up. Big risk for him. Very nice crossfire setup here from Chance and Quiver. We're able to get one off now. I'm going to peek out, gets a tag. All he's going to get for now. 4 versus 3. 2 members are very low for Perilous Rage. Looks like they're going to switch things up now. Their attention away from mid.
If I were the CTs here, I'd just try and throw all my eggs in one basket and play really up close and personal positions to try and utilise the pistols as well as possible. At the moment they have 1 player on A, one person who's just on the verge of rotating to B. So yeah, look at that, look at that. The rifles, you can't take them on with, you can't take on the rifles, sorry, from long range. You're gonna get done. And look, we've already seen 1 CT drop. This other CT's trying to get a frag, and the other CT hasn't even rotated round yet. So
he's gonna die now anyway.
I think that was a poor round from GLG. I think it really was.
Yep, they're gonna be able to get 1 here, but you can't see Rek living much longer. There it is. Been a poor start to this half, as you said, for GLG. Their pistol round left a lot of improvement for them, just allowing the Perilous Rage side to get out and get those early frags on from Quiver. Just been lacking for the CT side here. Again,
the best thing to say would quite simply be that the team with the better individuals and the team with the better team play is quite simply in the lead. You know, the Perilous Rage deserve it.
Yeah, and again though, they're going for these really strange buys here. The first round they didn't go for any armor, the second round they didn't go for any armor either, they just went for a pistol buy, and this third one, 2 of them still on USPs, the rest on 5.7s or so. Yo, picking up Mark, it seems just like they're having a bit of a tough time getting into this game and getting their heads sorted.
Well,
even on the same level.
Even when, I mean, look at this. Good-looking gamers are on the CT side. Granted, they have pistols, but they keep peeking these Perilous Rage players in 1v1 situations at long range. I mean, we're going back to the fundamentals of Counter-Strike here, and the fundamentals of, well, I don't know whether it's fundamentals of Counter-Strike at this stage, but just common sense, you know? And good-looking gamers, it almost seems like they're playing, and they're either trying to get these eco rounds done and dusted with and out of the way, which in my opinion on CSGO is a big mistake when you consider the potential you could unleash on the ecos, which we saw Perilous Rage do in the last half. So, I don't know, it definitely looks like they're just trying to get them out of the way and wait for the buy rounds, but it is going to leave Perilous on 13 rounds. And talking about these buy rounds, granted Shig has salvaged an AK-47, they're going to have to play one heck of a remaining half Hoss on only 5 rounds if they are to try and redeem things. And look, he's only gone and lost the AK.
Yeah, it's looking really dire for GLG now, and it's about time they get a good buy round in. They have this AWP on Stan. Peaks have a gun, yeah, he has a Galil here, so Quiver being the lone AWPer for this side. We saw some moments of magic from both him and Chance in the first half. In fact, where is Quiver going? Tried getting a pick mid and now going to rotate towards door.
Very mid-heavy from GLG. Don't blame him for doing that. The problem here is, you look at the amount of potential players who are going to be peeking this A-bomb site. Arf is literally in what could potentially be their cross-fight chance. No, he's obviously not going to see him thanks to that box. But if Perilous Rage had executed there onto the A-bomb site, or if Arf shows a bit too much flesh to Quiver here, and Quiver gets a frag, expect Perilous Rage to just surge straight into this A-bomb site and get the bomb down, because as soon as they realise how mid-heavy GLG are playing, they're going to know that this A-bomb site is empty.
Mark on the B-bomb site, sorry, still being distracted by one of the Perilous players that was just lurking here, and Cache is really one of those maps where Molotov's just so key in unlocking that A defense. You can just take away a whole half of the bomb site where the CTs are lurking, as we see Stan now form very quick frags coming in. The T side just leaving Shig and Mark left. Gonna get taken down by Quiver's AWP. All on Mark here. He's got a silenced M4. They must have heard him running. He's gonna get one. Turns away from the flash. Another flash does go his way though. Peak spraying through. Nice flick from Mark again, but even so, 7 HP. It's going to be tough. Bomb will go off now. He can't go anywhere near it. Just going for exits now. Yeah, he's going to fall back. Make sure he takes that M4 through to the next round. While the rest of his team are going to be on an eco. Perilous Rage now. Getting very close to winning this one. 2 rounds away. Taking this, and good-looking gamers, they're going to have to force this one up to try and deny the match point.
Exactly. Good-looking gamers now. I mean, they've tried bog standard setups. It's not really worked for them. Keep things quite simple. I'd like to see them probably push 4 players through B or pop flash into A main and just take a gamble and try and get an early pick, because they've been trying to play Cache, you know, with a book and the way it's meant to be played, but the CT just basically end up peeking in places like mid or places like the aggressive part of B or B long, and just basically individually these 1v1 battles they're not winning. And there it is again. There it is. Ash with 2 kills. It's been disappointing from the good looking gamers. It really has been. Hopefully they can redeem themselves on the 2 upcoming maps.
And it's not the greatest start for them here. I would assume based on this result that this map was Perilous Rage's pick. No real other answer for it. Mark does pull 1 frag back in his favour. He gets forced away because the Molotov. Now the HE comes raining in. Quiver has another molly in his hands. Joe will dispatch of Arth on that B site. The bomb will go down. Sorry, it was Mark he dispatched of Arth, got a kill in mid. He will now fall, as it's now match point, or first map point, sorry, to Perilous Rage. And GLG's economy is the same as it was last round. Very, very poor.
And look, it's do or die for them. Again, I'd really, really like to see them do something out of the blue, something abnormal, you know, to try and surprise this Perilous Rage team. And the question is, are they going to do it? They might do. No, it's not a flash, that's a smoke going down. At least that smoke should be able to slow down the Perilous Rage players. But look at how confident they are. They're wasting no time. They know that the CTs have boosted. Quiver comes in with a Tech 9. Ash will drop Stan. And, well, Perilous Rage mowing down good-looking gamers with ease. And all Perilous Rage have to do here, Hoss, is just, you know, play this cool, calm and collected. Just don't peek the CTs.
Or they can just bombard the CTs with grenades. Ash, though, does fall. He wasn't playing safe, nor was Mark. Nor was Chance, sorry. As Mark took off his head, the bomb is taken down. There are no defuse kits on this CT side. It looks like this bomb will go off. All he can do is hold it. GG's coming out, and there it is. The first map going to Perilous Rage. The next map will be either Mirage or Inferno. Looks like it's going to be Inferno as our second map.